Welcome to ÄRIA Voyages Academy. Today we're diving into the lucrative potential of selling cruises. Whether you're listening between appointments or on your commute, we're glad you're here. Let's get into it.
So, I want you to imagine leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single month simply because you are, terrified of a deck plan.
Right, and doing it entirely by choice. I mean, it's a defensive posture we see all the time in the industry right now.
Yeah, we're looking at why travel agents are actively avoiding their absolute most profitable demographic and how you can stop making that exact mistake today.
Because we watch these incredible professionals leave massively lucrative cruise products completely untouched.
They're fighting tooth and nail over the razor-thin margins of standard hotel packages, right?
Yeah.
But then they just freeze up the second a client mentions the Mediterranean.
Exactly. And why is that? Because the prevailing narrative is that cruises are just, too complicated.
Yeah.
There's this profound fear of overwhelm. I mean, you open a deck plan for a modern megaship, and it can look like a schematic for a nuclear submarine. Oh, totally. You've got 15 decks, complex color-coded cabin categories, obstructed views.
Guaranteed cabins versus selected cabins, yeah.
Right. It feels like a total minefield.
It really does, and let's not forget the client who walks in claiming they've, quote-unquote, seen it all on YouTube.
Oh, man. The YouTube client.
Right. They come armed with 50 hyper-specific questions about whether the aft-facing balcony on deck 8 has too much engine vibration.
Which completely misses the point of what that client actually represents, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. That hesitation from the agent is rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of where their time is actually best spent.
Because fear drives people toward what feels familiar.
Right. Usually a standard all-inclusive resort in Mexico or a really simple point-to-point hotel booking.
Yeah.
But familiarity does not equal profitability.
You know, it reminds me of an investor who's so terrified of the stock market that they decide to just hide all their money under a mattress.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
Right. Because, sure, the mattress feels incredibly safe. It's totally familiar. It requires absolutely zero research. And you never have to look at a complicated stock ticker.
Right, but by choosing that absolute frictionless comfort, you're fundamentally guaranteeing a much lower return on your investment.
Exactly. You are choosing stagnation. I mean, sticking exclusively to basic flights and standard hotels is the travel agent equivalent of the mattress strategy.
Yeah, you avoid the initial learning curve of the cruise market, but you're actively bleeding potential revenue with every single transaction.
And when we talk about that YouTube-educated client, I mean, they aren't looking for an order taker.
No, not at all. They are highly qualified leads displaying massive purchase intent.
Right. They want an authority to validate their research and execute the booking with professional oversight.
Exactly. And by backing away from them because you aren't confident in the product, you're literally handing your highest yielding demographic over to competitors who, simply took a weekend to learn the deck plans.
Yeah. So let's actually run the numbers on this. Because when you lay out the math, the contrast is absolutely staggering.
It really is.
What exactly are we sacrificing when we default to that mattress strategy?
Well, we can break this down into raw mathematics. Let's look at a standard hotel package or a typical all-inclusive resort.
Okay.
The industry average commission for those products hovers somewhere between 8 and 12%.
Which, isn't terrible in a vacuum.
No, it's not. But contrast that immediately with the cruise industry, where standard commissions typically range from 10 to 16%.
Right.
But here's the really crucial part. The percentage is only half the equation. The more critical factor is the base price that the percentage is applied to.
Okay, let's use a concrete example to make this real for everyone listening.
Sure. Consider a couple booking a 10-night Caribbean itinerary on a premium cruise line.
Nice.
That transaction will easily run between $6,000 and $10,000. So at standard cruise commission rates, you're looking at a return of $600 to $1,600.
From a single booking?
Yes. One couple. One primary consultation.
Wow. And to put that into perspective, let's say you want to earn that same $1,600 selling a typical $2,800 week-long all-inclusive vacation.
Right.
You'd have to source, consult, quote, and close at least 5 separate clients.
You are multiplying your labor by 5.
Right. You're multiplying your administrative tracking, your client management hours, the emails, the phone calls, all of it by 5.
Just to achieve the exact same financial outcome you could have secured in one single premium cruise conversation.
That's incredible. The leverage is entirely skewed in favor of the cruise product.
Oh, absolutely. But it goes even deeper than the base fare. We really have to talk about the architecture of the product itself.
Okay.
Cruises are completely unique because of the bundling advantage.
Okay, wait, I want to unpack this, but I have to challenge the premise of the bundle first.
Sure, go for it.
If everything is bundled together,
Yeah.
right? The accommodation, the multi-venue dining, Broadway caliber entertainment, plus the actual physical transportation between, say, 5 different countries. Doesn't the client eventually look at the bottom line and experience massive sticker shock?
It's a very common concern, especially for newer agents.
Because human nature says when you present a $10,000 invoice for a 10-day trip, the client is immediately going to start looking for ways to unbundle it.
Right, yeah.
Or worse, they just back out entirely because the upfront number feels way too heavy compared to, a cheap flight and a standard hotel room.
It's a totally valid concern, but it actually misreads the psychology of the premium traveler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that bundled price doesn't create friction. It actually creates a financial firewall.
A financial firewall. How so? Because, 10 grand is 10 grand.
Well, because it's about absolute peace of mind. Think about a piecemeal vacation. When a client books a flight and a hotel, they live in constant fear of the unknown variable.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Right. They're stressing about the $200 taxi ride from the airport. They're agonizing over the unexpected $70 breakfast at the hotel or, the dynamic pricing of local transit.
Yeah, it feels like they're hemorrhaging money every single time they step out of their room.
Exactly. A cruise eliminates those variables completely. The client knows exactly what their total exposure is before they ever back out of their driveway.
Right. It avoids the death by 1,000 cuts.
Exactly. And this dynamic completely shifts your role as an agent. You cease being a transactional salesperson haggling over line items, and you become an architect.
I love that framing. You're building a comprehensive, insulated experience where they feel protected from the constant nickel and diming of traditional travel.
Precisely.
And this ecosystem isn't just closed, right?
Yeah.
It's built for expansion.
Absolutely it is. A standard hotel booking rarely offers substantial commissionable add-ons beyond maybe a spa treatment here or there. But with a cruise, you can seamlessly attach prepaid shore excursions, premium beverage packages, specialty dining reservations, pre- and post-cruise hotel stays,
and strategic cabin upgrades.
Yes.
And every single one of those additions dramatically increases the per passenger spend, which directly boosts your commission.
Exactly. And because it's all integrated into the cruise line's booking portal, the administrative friction to add a drink package is almost zero.
The result is a compounding commission structure.
Yes. Say your client books that Caribbean cruise. They're in the ecosystem now. 2 months before sailing, they decide they want the premium beverage package.
Right, which is another, $100 a day per person?
Easily. Then they want the chef's table dining experience. They want a private cabana on the cruise line's private island.
So your final payout often far exceeds your initial projection based on the base fare alone.
Far exceeds it, yeah.
Okay, so that shifts from administrator to architect brings up a point about operational efficiency that I think gets vastly overlooked because high commissions are obviously attractive. But for a working travel agent managing a full portfolio of clients, time is just as valuable an asset as the percentage payout.
Time is your inventory. If you're spending it inefficiently, you are literally losing money.
Exactly. So if we connect the financial return to the actual administrative labor required to earn it, the cruise model becomes even more compelling.
Oh, it really does.
Let's think about the sheer logistical nightmare of building a complex, multi-city independent itinerary. Say you're sending a couple to Europe for 2 weeks.
Oh, the classic European whirlwind.
Right. You're booking international flights, regional train tickets, 3 different hotels in 3 different cities, a rental car, airport transfers, and private museum tours.
Yeah, and in that scenario, you are managing 5 or 6 completely separate bookings.
At least.
Right. You're dealing with 5 or 6 different international suppliers, each with their own distinct cancellation policies, deposit schedules, and customer service protocols.
And critically, you've just introduced 5 or 6 distinct points of failure into your client's vacation.
Exactly.
If the regional train is delayed, they miss their private tour. That delays the hotel check-in.
Yeah.
And who receives the panicked phone call at 3 a.m. to untangle that logistical knot?
You do, the agent.
Right.
And untangling that knot takes hours of unbillable time. You're waking up, logging into your system, trying to find a replacement train, calling the hotel in Florence to explain the late arrival.
And just hoping you don't lose the deposit on the museum tour.
Right. It's pure crisis management. A cruise systematically eliminates this entire web of liability.
Because it consolidates the entirety of the trip into one single reservation.
Exactly. You're dealing with one supplier, one set of terms and conditions, and one confirmation number.
That is huge.
Look at the cruise model. If there's a logistical disruption, say bad weather means the ship can't dock in Mykonos.
Right.
The ship's captain and the corporate office handle the rerouting. They arrange the new port, they swap the excursions, they communicate with the guests.
The physical infrastructure of the supplier handles the heavy lifting. The agent doesn't even have to lift a finger. It's exactly like migrating from a fragmented workflow of 10 different apps into a fully integrated, all-in-one software ecosystem.
That is a perfect analogy.
The cruise ship is literally the ultimate back-end logistical software.
Yes. Once the client steps onto that gangway, the ship takes over. It manages the transportation, the hospitality, the catering, the entertainment.
Which frees you up to focus entirely on high-level client relationship management.
Instead of spending your Tuesday afternoon on hold with a regional rail operator in Italy, you're spending it checking in with your client to wish them a bon voyage, or consulting with your next prospect.
Right. Less administrative friction directly translates to higher capacity. You can take on more clients without burning out, which equals higher value and ultimately happier clients.
And because the administrative burden per client is so drastically reduced, we really have to look at the long-term impact on an agent's book of business.
Yeah.
This is where the sheer ease of the cruise product creates compounding client retention. The industry refers to it as the cruise bug.
Yes, the cruise bug. I really want to drill down into why that psychological shift happens.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about the mechanics of a cruise that fundamentally rewires a traveler's expectations?
It comes down to the friction of traditional travel versus the fluidity of cruising.
Okay.
The statistics supporting the cruise bug are honestly the bedrock of modern travel agency profitability. The majority of first-time cruisers become repeat cruisers.
Wow.
The conversion rate from a first-time sailor to a brand loyalist is staggering. And here's why. Like, where are we eating tonight? How do we hail a cab in foreign language? Did we tip enough?
Exactly. The mental load of traditional travel is actually exhausting.
It really is.
A cruise completely removes that mental load.
Yeah.
You unpack your suitcase once, you hang your clothes up, put your toiletries in the bathroom, and the hotel effectively moves with you. It's wild when you think about it like that.
You go to sleep after dinner and wake up in a completely new country, fully refreshed, with your same bed and your same belongings.
That specific contrast between the exhaustion of land logistics and the pure leisure of a cruise, it permanently changes a traveler's baseline expectations for what a vacation should feel like.
Exactly. They become a totally different type of consumer.
The behavior of a loyal cruiser is fascinating. I've seen it firsthand. Often, they start planning their next itinerary before they've even disembarked from their current sailing.
Yes. They're putting deposits down at the future cruise desk on board.
Because they've tasted that frictionless travel. They become proactive buyers.
Instead of you having to chase them down every January to ask, hey, what are your summer plans? The client is calling you to ask about the new ship deployments in the Mediterranean.
Or they're inquiring about emerging regions they haven't sailed yet.
Right, and they become massive advocates. They organically refer their friends and family to you because you're the agent who successfully matched them with their first great ship.
So selling that first cruise to a client isn't just a retail transaction. It's the acquisition of an annuity.
That's exactly what it is.
Because when you sell a standard hotel, you start at zero again the following year. You have to win their business all over again.
Exactly.
But when you perfectly match a client with a cruise line that fits their exact lifestyle and they catch that cruise bug, the nature of your business changes entirely.
It stops being a relentless sales grind and transforms into an ongoing high-yield relationship.
The customer acquisition cost drops to effectively zero for every subsequent booking.
And this loyalty is particularly potent right now due to the current market reality. The post-pandemic boom in cruising isn't just a recovery, it's an absolute expansion.
Yeah, passenger numbers have decisively surpassed pre-pandemic levels.
The industry is scaling rapidly, with new, highly specialized vessels launching every single season.
And we're seeing a massive diversification of the product itself. I mean, the market is expanding far beyond the traditional Caribbean megaships, right?
Oh, completely. Look at the explosive rise of expedition cruises to Antarctica or the Galapagos.
Oh, wait.
Look at the refinement of European and Asian river cruises or the introduction of ultra-luxury yacht-style vessels. These products are actively attracting entirely new client segments.
Affluent demographics who historically would have scoffed at the idea, who would have never considered themselves, cruise people.
Exactly. They're realizing they can have the rugged adventure of Antarctica, but still come back to a Michelin star meal and a heated floor in their suite.
Right. And they are now driving massive growth in the sector.
Absolutely.
Okay, but if it's this lucrative and this easy on the back end and the market is booming, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. What's the catch? Why isn't every single travel agent pivoting entirely to this model?
Well, the barrier to entry isn't access to inventory. The barrier is specialized knowledge.
Okay.
As we established earlier, cruises themselves aren't inherently complicated book on the back end, but they absolutely demand strict product expertise on the front end.
Right. You cannot fake your way through a premium cruise consultation.
Because the clients are too well researched and the products are too nuanced.
Precisely. The questions agents must answer are the exact dividing line between the amateurs and the professionals.
A client is going to ask, point blank, which specific cruise line aligns with their personality.
And if you get that wrong, it's a disaster.
Oh, complete disaster. Putting a quiet, luxury-seeking, retired couple on a vibrant, family-centric megaship during spring break is a catastrophic failure of product matching.
They will never cruise again.
And they will certainly never book with you again, and honestly, they shouldn't.
Right.
Clients need to know the tangible physical difference between booking a standard balcony and upgrading to a suite. And it's not just square footage anymore.
No, it's the ship within a ship concept.
Yes. Clients need to understand the value proposition of enclaves like the yacht club or the retreat.
Because they're paying for a private elevator, a private restaurant, a dedicated butler who literally unpacks their suitcase.
And knowing which ship has the right enclave for that specific client is exactly where you prove your worth. You can't just Google that during the consultation.
Exactly. And let's talk about destinations for a second.
Okay.
If a client wants Alaska, they need to know if they should sail out of Seattle or Vancouver.
Right. What's the difference between the Inside Passage and the Gulf of Alaska?
Which itinerary offers the best glacier viewing for their specific budget?
And they want to know if the physical demands of an expedition cruise are genuinely a fit for their mobility levels. You can't just guess on that stuff.
The cost of ignorance in these specific moments is absolute. If you hesitate, if you rely on generic brochure copy, or if you clearly can't answer these questions with total authority,
the client will instantly recognize the knowledge gap.
And they'll politely excuse themselves from the consultation and immediately book directly with the cruise line.
Or worse, they'll find a specialized agent down the street who does know the answers.
Yeah. The agent who intimately knows the product wins the client every single time. It's a pure meritocracy based entirely on education.
But I want to reframe this for the agents listening. This knowledge gap isn't a wall to keep you out. It's a moat to protect your business once you're in.
Oh, that's a brilliant way to look at it. It's like a superpower waiting to be unlocked.
It really is.
And that requirement for deep, accessible education is exactly why resources like ÄRIA Voyages Academy exist. We don't expect you to magically absorb the deck plans of 100 different ships by osmosis.
No, you need a structured bridge over that knowledge gap.
Right. By utilizing in-depth articles, targeted audio capsules, and comprehensive reference sheets that break down the specific nuances of different cruise lines, destinations, and cabin categories, you can systematically build the expertise required to command these consultations.
It equips you with the exact sales techniques needed to confidently guide a client from a YouTube video to a finalized itinerary. You become the indispensable expert.
Before we wrap up, I want you to consider your most demanding, heavily researched client. You know the one.
Oh, we all know the one.
The client who constantly quotes those niche YouTube ship tours and scrutinizes every single line item on a quote.
Right.
Rather than viewing that individual as an administrative headache to be avoided, recognize that they are actually your most profitable future loyalist.
They are simply waiting for an expert with true, undeniable product knowledge to validate their research and guide their choices.
When you meet their preparation with your own professional expertise, you don't just secure a high-commission booking, you secure a client for life.
That's a wrap on today's ÄRIA Academy lecture. Take what you heard today and put it to work with your next client. We'll see you in the next one.